Shabbat Shalom, my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. So first of all praises to our Elohim, to his holy son Hamashiach. So I pray that you all had a wonderful Shabbat. I know I did. Had a very good time with my brothers last night, chatting, chopping it up, testifying the goodness of the Most High. And I pray as well that you all had some good testimonies. So I want to share something with you. Sister shared this with me, and I thought it was very interesting. Now, you all know there's been a lot of strange activity that's been going on around the world. You know, a lot of these mysterious booms all over the place, trumpet sounds. And I'm telling you, these trumpet sounds are increasing. They're intensing. And I'm going to tell you something else. You know, I'm starting to notice that there are more heathens that are having dreams about being in slavery. You know, I'm going to have to find some clips and do a special video on that, though, because I thought that was very interesting. But anyway, what I want to share with you all is they detected something moving very fast under the earth from the from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast, like in 19 minutes. Now, that's fast. But before I share that clip with you, I just want to say, brothers and sisters, it's been a joy. I mean, let me tell you something. It's been a joy just being able to be a servant unto you, brothers and sisters. Now, from the response we got last night from the video we put out about connecting with your Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you something. The response was rapid. And you brothers and sisters, you've been on fire. And I can't even keep up with the comments. I mean, I lie to you not. I can't even keep up with the comments. So I'm very ecstatic of what the Holy Spirit is getting ready to do with his people. And he is bringing us together like never before. I'm telling you, we're getting ready to see a revolution in brother and sisterhood like we've never seen before amongst our Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. And I'm just excited how and what the Most High is getting ready to do. And I'm telling you, you just keep your eyes open, saints, because in the next few months and beyond, we're going to start seeing things wrap up. I mean, it's going to start getting more rapid and rapid and rapid. And, you know, we ain't seen nothing yet. You know, but we got to stay prayed up, brothers and sisters. We got to stay prayed up. We got to keep afflicting our souls and working out our salvation with fear and trembling. And we got to continue to humble ourselves, Zion, because the battle's not over yet. You know, all these things have to fulfill, and we're going to need each other like never before, especially in these last days as these times and signs are increasing, brothers and sisters, and these heathens are going to come against us even more. So let's continue to pray for one another and keep encouraging one another. And however you ever meet with your Hebrews, whether it's physically, over the phone, Skype, or however, you know, let's continue to encourage one another, brothers and sisters, because it ain't going to be long. We're going to be out of this joint. So let's go ahead and go to this video. I'm going to show you this clip, and then we'll come right back.
Down below. Now to the main topic of today's video. Well, it's been a little while since I've featured anything from my fellow truth seekers and their channels. There's just been a lot of strange things happening lately, and you know, while I've been running the channel, some of the other channels out there who do similar work have made some really interesting discoveries, and today I wanted to feature one of those coming from my friend and fellow YouTuber Mr. MBB333. While it appears that something was caught moving extremely fast underground from the east coast of the United States to the west coast. We're talking thousands upon thousands of miles. Something was moving underground, and it was picked up by seismographs stretching across the entire United States. It was picked up on almost every one of them, if not every one. And so I want you guys to check out this clip from that full video here.
Earthquake of this size, let's say that this is about maybe a 2-pointer, it would not be registering on seismos 3,000 miles away. There you're looking at Pennsylvania at right at 50. Okay, and it moves across the state or the country. It's easy to read. Here it's in Arizona the following hour, 8 minutes later. Not an hour later, but it's in the next hour, 8 minutes, well, actually in some cases 18 minutes later. Indiana, 53 past the hour. Tennessee, 54 past the hour. Ohio, 53, 52 past the hour. Michigan, 52 past the hour. Minnesota, around 57, 58 past the hour. Texas, 2 into the next hour. There's hardly any difference, and it traveled, what, a couple thousand miles, and it maintained the same type of strength on the seismograph? That's not an earthquake. That's some sort of a strange energy wave that went all the way across the country. Here's the state of Washington at nearly 9 into the next hour. So you're talking 19 minutes it traveled from coast to coast. Strange energy wave. Here it is in Idaho, around 7 minutes past the hour of 3. This is in the 2 o'clock hour. At the end of the 2 o'clock hour, at 2:55, in Wisconsin, 2:56. Over in Idaho, 3:05.
Okay, so how is that for a head scratcher? Whether you want to call it something moving, whether you want to call it an energy wave moving below the surface, something was picked up on seismographs moving from one end of the United States to the other in just 19 minutes. In what was described by Mr. MBB3 as a strange ground pulse, traveling nearly 3,000 miles in a matter of minutes, and that could be tracked on these seismographs that are normally used to track and measure earthquakes that happen, although this was a different kind of energy. This was not earthquake energy. And so, this is an amazing finding by Mr. MBB. And, it goes back to another one of my recent videos where I posted. It was titled, quote, "Something is happening underground." And I posted it back in mid-April of this year. And in that video, as we've discussed in, a lot of different videos on this channel, we went into the discussion of these mysterious booms that have not just been happening in the United States, but around the world. But because the US is our biggest audience, that's where we get the most reports from. Ground-shaking booms or rumbles, shaking houses, breaking windows, putting cracks up the sides of buildings, and opening up massive holes in the ground itself, happening all over the United States. And so in that particular video, Something is Happening Underground, we also went to discuss some of the theories of what could be creating these underground rumbles, whether it was some sort of high-speed rail system, a train of some sort. We talked about some of the files that were leaked years ago that indicate through this map, an underground tunnel system where these high-speed rails go through and connect to various secret underground bases. Now, other theories were that some of these sounds were coming from construction happening underground, or possibly secret testing of some sort. But I think that this new evidence being picked up on seismographs, and we're certainly going to be following these seismographs from now on, there's obviously some sort of opening underneath us that would allow an object or something go from the East Coast to the West in a matter of minutes. Now, whether you want to call that a high-speed railway that is operated by us, or another kind of travel system that is being utilized by maybe something else underground that has nothing to do with us, I will leave that up to you guys. We've also spoken in many videos about the mysterious disappearances that occur in or around our national parks all over the United States, and oddly enough, a lot of the areas where people go missing by the hundreds, sometimes thousands, never explained in most cases. And these people are just never seen again. A lot of the places where this happens eerily correlate to some of the areas on this leaked map where it's said that these underground railway systems connect. But then we have the question that if these underground tunnels or railways were operated by us, and this is all us, why would we need thousands of people each and every year? Why would we need to snatch them up? And that is an even scarier question, and it really makes me wonder whether this has anything to do with humans on this planet. And that's where we get into the more mysterious, the more off-world, the more surreal theories as to what could be causing this.
You see, even the heathens don't even know what's going on, but we know what's going on, Zion. We know that the Most High is preparing the way for the deliverance of his chosen people. And I'm telling you, these things are going to increase more and more. And I thought that was interesting about that, what they discovered traveling underground like that from the East Coast to the West Coast, traveling that fast. And there's a lot more things that are going on, but they're just not putting it in the news. They've been keeping it on a hush hush. And all these elites, these world leaders, building all these underground bunkers, thinking that they're going to be safe from the judgment of the Most High. But they're not going to be able to hide. They're not going to be able to run. All their money is not going to be worth anything. And that's the problem. They think that they can outlive or outsmart the Most High. But the Most High already got them, and they're already destroyed. And they're going to be in for a big surprise. But a lot of people aren't really paying attention to this kind of stuff. And I mean, these things have been going on, increasing, and people are just walking around like nothing's even going on, because they're so caught up in their own stuff. Our people especially, it's like they're caught up in all these reality TV shows and all kind of other stuff, not even paying attention. You try to tell them what's going on in this world, they look at you like you crazy. Call you a Satanist, call you a fanatic, call you crazy. Because they refuse to wake up and see what's going on around them. Just blind. I'm telling you, just blind. Hosea 4:6 says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And boy, did those words hit their mark, because a lot of our people are just completely destroyed to what's going on. And only if they knew, and you would think, man, just to know that who you are as a chosen people, you would think that would make them excited. But as they say, Christianity is a hell of a drug, and that's what it's done to a lot of our people. It has blinded them and drugged them to death, drugged them to sleep. Now, I know most of you have been keeping up with this volcano on the big island of Hawaii called Kilauea. Now, that volcano is getting worse and worse. They're not even putting half of it out. And it's so bad right now. Now there's reports coming out saying that, and I believe it, that this thing, if it keeps on like it is, this thing can cover the whole earth if it even gets worse. And they're already talking about having to evacuate everybody off that island. I'm telling you, the hand of the Most High is putting it on these nations. And after Trump signed that H.R. 1242, that acknowledging 400 years of our people being in slavery, and with 2019 coming around the corner, it's like one of them things, because I get excited. I'm telling you, every time I think about that, I get excited. So it's like one of those things where it's like, I know it's getting ready to happen, but I don't want to get my hopes up too much. But then deep down inside, it's like, it's going to happen. And I truly believe you all feel it too, because you all been having dreams, visions, and all kind of things that the Most High has been revealing to you. Now, of course, we don't know the exact date when the Most High is going to break that sky, when he's going to bring in his chariots to gather us from the four corners of the earth. We don't know the exact time that's going to happen. But however, we know that things are getting so close, brothers and sisters, that it's just so phenomenal, so surreal. And we're going to know, we feel it in our whole being. It's the spirit in us that tells us, like we know, like we've never known before. We just know it. And I don't care what people try to tell us. We just know it. And that is the working of the Spirit of the Most High within us, Zion. Now, the Bible says that his coming is going to be like a thief in the night. Now, we got to remember, who's going to be a thief to? It's not going to be a thief to us, because we know what's going on around the world, Zion. We know all the things that are happening. All these phenomena that are happening are no coincidence. But we, as the children of the Most High, we know. Now, we might not be able to explain in detail the things that are going on, like this thing they discovered traveling under the earth and all these mysterious booms and trumpet sounds. But we know that the Most High is preparing the way, and he's getting ready to loose these four winds. And when he looses these four winds, all hell is going to break loose. Now, we know that the Antichrist is already on the scene, but he's getting ready to rise up. And I'm telling you, I'm getting ready to do another video on that. And I'm going to be talking about some more about CERN, because there's some things, some articles I want to share with you, because I'm telling you, there's a reason why they've been wanting to make Jerusalem the capital. And they've been wanting to do this since they became a state in 1948. And now we're starting to see some things that are being revealed. And this Antichrist is getting ready to come on the scene, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you. And that's why we got to start pulling together, start testifying and encouraging one another, because we're going to start seeing things speed up. And you know, the heathens, they don't like when we come together. They don't like when we come together and unite, because all they've ever done was divide and conquer our people, turn our own people against our own brothers and sisters. And we've been living that. We've been living that for the last 400 years of hating ourselves. It's time for a change, brothers and sisters. It's time for a revolution among the Hebrew Israelites. It's time to show these heathens who we truly are, because they're going to see it, whether they want to or not. And I tell you what, when Israel, when these fake Khazars over there are completely wiped out and destroyed, the world is going to wail in fear, because they're going to realize they made the biggest mistake of their lives. And it's going to be too late to turn everything around. Now, I can't express enough what's getting ready to befall these heathens. And, you know, they just recently had this school shooting, and there was some plane that fell out the sky after takeoff in Cuba. Now, you want to continue to lynch our brothers and sisters in the street and call it a suicide? You want to continue to shoot our brothers down in the street like dogs? You want to continue to treat us like a fifth of a person? Well, you keep on playing with the sons and daughters of Zion. You keep on playing with us, because you're going to see your destruction increase more and more, you heathens. And this is only the beginning. Last year, you just got a taste. The main course hasn't even started yet. And you about to get the full course meal of the destruction of the Most High. And we're going to see more destruction like we've never seen it before. And these opioids addicts, heroin addicts, they're off the charts. They can't even keep up with the bodies that are coming in the morgues. And a lot of these, majority of these large white towns, you seeing it big time in these old hick towns. And I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, we are seeing it. And that's why they're going crazy, because they don't know what to do. They can't ignore it. They are trying their best to ignore what's going on around them, but they can't. You know, and they're trying to hide it from being in the news and what have you, but they can't. And you name it, every disease that's happening, it's like the Most High is taking the curses off of us, and he's slowly putting it on them tenfold. Y'all hear me? Tenfold. And they're going to realize they should have never put their hands on us in the first place. They are going to admit, they will admit who we are. You know, they're going to do it flat from their backs, but they will admit who we are. So, brothers and sisters, I just wanted to share, especially that object where the thing they discovered traveling under the earth. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I'm going to leave you with Revelation 14:12. Here's the patience of the saints, who are they that keep the commandments of Elohim and have the faith of our Hamashiach. And brothers and sisters, I say shalom and stay strong.